Okay, it used to be believed none of what you hear and only half of what you see. Now, with the rise of AI, artificial intelligence generated images, you might be left believing even less. You've likely seen these images of the Pope wearing a puffy Balenciaga jacket or former President Trump being arrested. Fake images that have duped millions. Well, now Elon Musk, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, and 1,000 other tech experts have signed an open letter calling for a 6-month pause in developing AI systems, citing the potential risks to society. Chris Mattman is author and international expert in AI and machine learning. He works at JPL. Chris joins me now with more. Chris, this is such a fascinating subject, period. Curious where you fall in line. Do you agree with Elon Musk that there should be a 6-month pause on AI systems?
Marla, thanks so much for having me on. And I'll basically just say, I understand where they're coming from. When people like Elon or, some of the luminaries on there, Sam Altman from OpenAI initially put his name on and then took it off. I understand where they're kind of coming from in this perspective, because their concern is that the big tech companies have very, very powerful models that we're only now seeing some of the potential of. Just imagine, with ChatGPT and all of these things, that's the public model they're releasing. They've had these models, these transformer models, for years. And so I understand where they're coming from. My personal opinion kind of related to that, Marla, is actually I don't agree with them. Personally, I believe that if we put such a pause on that, all that's going to do is they're trying to pause the big tech companies from this type of rapid development, but the secondary effects in all of the potential lines of business and industry where, AI, automation, and these types of large language models and capabilities can really innovate and just be difference makers in the bottom line for businesses. I don't agree with the pause for that, and I don't agree with it for national security reasons.
Well, that brings me to Senator Mike Rounds. He chairs the Senate Artificial Intelligence Caucus. He said this: unless China, the Communist Party in China, is prepared to show evidence that they're going to do the same thing, I'm afraid then that we would be restricting our ability to move forward with AI for a period of 6 months while China does not. So he makes a point there, right?
Marla, there was a report that came out a couple years ago by Eric Schmidt. He kind of led it. It was for the government. It was for the national intelligence community. And Eric Schmidt and a bunch of AI experts in the world basically came together and they issued a report on where the U.S. stands vis-a-vis, some of our foreign adversaries, including China and other places. And basically what they said is the U.S. is behind in 100+ areas in AI. So I actually totally agree, with the congressman or the senator, in this particular case. My worry kind of related to that is if we put the pause, that's putting the pause on us here in the U.S., what we can control. We can't control what our foreign adversaries are doing, and we have to be careful about that.
Chris, I want to get your thoughts, though, on these AI-generated images. They were tweeted out. A couple of them were with the caption that said that they're AI. In less than now 30 seconds, if you could, doesn't this only lead to more disinformation in terms of muddying the fact versus fiction?
It absolutely does, Marla. These images were indiscernible, and the Pope image with the Balenciaga, sweater on was, making the rounds at my work, I'll just say. And, actually, initially out of awe because they believed it was true, so it's indiscernible to the eye. This is one of the reasons that you see the big tech companies trying so hard to get these pay for verification programs. They're trying to identify humans versus bots, because that's going to be very difficult now in the coming election in the future. There's a big potential for disinformation here, and we need to be investing in ways to detect that.
All right. Well, you're going to be busy with all of this AI conversation going on. So, Chris Mattman, thank you for joining us tonight at 6 o'clock. We appreciate your perspective.